Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Monday, February 12th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. First off, a couple clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right there will still be moving around. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. And then second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So ticker symbol number one, MARA, and what another nice mover today on this one. It started a couple days ago with it bottoming out, slight little upwards movement here, and then from there it's just continued to grind higher and higher. So updates need to be done. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that level there as it served its purpose for now. First key update comes about just based on a foundational rule in charting, which states when levels of resistance are broken and closed above, you want to see them act as support. So going into next week, the ideal level would be right there at 2210. Ideal meaning if you're saying, hey, Clay, what would make this chart look the absolute strongest moving forward? And yeah, ideally speaking, if the price could stay above 2210, that would be a great sign of power. With that being said, it's not like if the price falls below that area, that implies the entire chart's destroyed or ruined or anything like that. But yeah, if it could stay above there, that would be a great sign of power. But from the overarching standpoint, just watch that purple line there, 50-period moving average. As the name implies, that line is going to move itself higher and higher, which is basically just like an overall trend line drawing itself for you. So as long as the price is above that purple line, then you could say that the overall trend of this current movement is still fully bullish. In terms of areas of resistance, I'm going to go ahead and make an adjustment. And the key question here is, what direction is this adjustment being made? And I'm going to go ahead and adjust this area of resistance right up to the 24.25 mark, which seems to be the more clear level from right there and right there. But yeah, assuming you're bullish, whenever levels of resistance need to be adjusted in the upwards direction, that's always a good thing. So overall, resistance is being adjusted higher. That's what you want to see from the bullish side of things. So keep a close eye on 24.25. But all in all, very nice way to close out the week. Next one here, ticker symbol PLTR, and this will mean a little bit more to those of you that watched yesterday's video, but if you did, you know that I called for a pullback. And that's what we got here today. Had that rising wedge pattern, which is bearish, had a pullback right here, a little bit of a bounce, but still, generally speaking, a little bit of a downwards movement. And like I said in yesterday's video, pullback is not the same as a reversal or anything like that. Nothing can go straight up. So, you know, if something pulls back, not the end of the world. And that's what we have here. Sure, it's pulled back, but nothing collapsed today. There's nothing, you know, terrible going on. So I'll get rid of that wedge as it's played its role here. And I mean, even with the pullback still nicely above that purple line, which you now know is a 50-period moving average. So from that angle of things, everything is still perfectly fine. So continue to watch that. Even if the price were to break below that on a pullback, I mean, because this move was so strong, there's still plenty of other areas of support, but no need to, you know, get too far ahead of ourselves because so far the price has indeed stayed above that purple line there. In terms of areas of resistance moving forward, key level to watch, nothing fancy here, but there's a bit of a trend line in place here. Let me get that. There we go. So keep an eye on that trend line moving forward from a resistance standpoint. But all things considered, like I said, nothing can go straight up every day. So today's pullback was relatively expected. It happened. And as long as the price overall builds higher bases, that's by far what matters most. Next one here, ticker symbol NSTG. And yesterday I did this one, but I also talked about how I wasn't quite sure what to think, but I did note that. But what I do know is that this thing's a penny stock. It's got good volatility. It's got huge volume. And that showed up immediately this morning. You can see from where it closed there, gapped up, made a very, very nice move and has now pulled back. But now from a technical standpoint, things definitely, there are some very key levels that a lot of people you got to think are watching. And the first main key level from the resistance standpoint, maybe you already noticed it, is all about that pink line there, which is the 200-period moving average. I mean, the power of charts. Think about it. This thing gapped up, and then, oh, what a coincidence. It started to go sideways right at that pink line. Once again, attempted an afternoon breakout. Didn't hit exactly, but got very close, rejected back down. So I'm not saying that the price is never going to be able to break above that pink line. I'm just saying it makes sense why the price does continue to struggle right around that area, and that moving forward, that'll by far be that main area of resistance. In terms of supports, once again, we're talking about 50-period moving average right there, and as that next week plays out, that line will get higher and higher and more relevant. So in some senses, you kind of basically have a pattern here that's formed with these two moving averages. So it's just, and you can see that this pattern, quote unquote, is running out of space. So eventually you're going to have that question, who's going to ultimately win out? Do the bulls win out with a break to the upside? Do the bears win with a break to the downside? Grab your popcorn. Next one, ticker symbol INBS. And first update that needs to be done. I mean, first off, just a monster move today. Did this one a while ago and talked about this as an area of resistance, which was crushed today. So when levels of resistance are broken and closed above, you want to see them act as support. And that is actually exactly what's occurring right now as I speak. You can see the price. In fact, why don't I just zoom in so you can see where that level is actually, you've seen where it's coming from. But as I speak, you can see the price is basically right doing battle at that level right now. So that'll be the first main question is, can this level hold? Now, if it doesn't hold, not the end of the world, because once again, we have the 50 paired moving average that it's sloping upwards and getting more and more relevant. And in fact, as I speak, you can see right now the price did actually technically slip a little bit below it. Market still doesn't close for another 10 minutes, so still time for it to recover. But if you're watching this and the price has, closed below 665, that's where your next immediate question becomes, okay, now the 50 paired moving average is going to be that main area of support. In terms of areas of resistance, very nice, very evident downwards trend line right there. And then just from an overall pattern standpoint, so we have a resistance, we have a support, we have the big move up right here. We have a golf hole down here for you golfers, make it a little bit more visual. This would be a bull pennant pattern. So if you like bull pennants, you like stocks down below $10, certainly keep an eye on it. Next one here, ticker symbol AMC, and very, very nice way to close out the week. For those of you that have watched the past videos, I'm sure you've grown sick and tired of me constantly talking about that pink line there, acting as resistance. But it was stubborn, but you can see right here when the price did break above it, that really opened up the floodgates of momentum. Very nice move. Sure, there's a bit of a pullback here that occurred, but all things considered, to just draw this kind of crudely, even with that, you still have a nice little bull pennant pattern in and of itself. So keep an eye on that dynamic moving forward. But as far as main levels of support moving forward, the ideal level now that you want to see the price stay above is that pink line there, just based on that rule, and levels of resistance are broken. You want to see them act as support. So moving forward, keep an eye on the pink line, 200 paired moving average. You want to see the price maintain above there. And then, yeah, you once again have that purple line creeping, getting into the picture involved a little bit here. As far as areas of resistance, I'm just going to go ahead and use this line up here. Main level to watch moving forward, going to be right up there at $4.50. That is essentially right where the momentum stopped today, right at that level. So keep an eye on that. But anyway, look at it. Nice movement really all week. I mean, nice overall grind. Got an upwards channel here into place. So we'll see if this upwards channel carries into next week. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online webinar that I'm offering next week. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free webinar. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box you can use to click to get signed up. Or if you're watching at my website, there's an area on the page there that you can use to get signed up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying, then certainly get signed up for the free webinar. Next one here, ticker symbol SUNW, and overall, interesting day with a big gap up, and it has pulled back, but this is where things get a little tricky to talk about because it's all about perspective. Meaning, if you're some sort of day trader, flipper, scalper, whatever you want to call yourself, and you bought, somewhere right around here, and your plan was to buy and sell within 10 minutes, well, then from that standpoint, the chart looks really, really bad. Because yes, there's no doubt about it. You can't deny that after the gap up, there has been this downwards channel. However, if you care about the bigger picture, then part of that is saying, okay, yeah, fair enough. Today there was a pullback. But what was happening before today, and what was happening before today, is there's been this big old move in the upwards direction, which is now giving me the ability to draw this bull flag pattern. So again, if you're somebody that's a day trader and you bought right there, then yeah, you don't really care about the bull flag pattern. But if you do care about the bigger picture of things, then yeah, that's what you have right now, a bull flag. So if you like penny stocks, you like bull flags, keep an eye on it. Next one, CLSK. Very, very impressive mover today. And I should just say, just overall, very, very impressive mover. I mean, it's crazy to think about. Not that long ago, thing down here around the $6 range, but now recently has made just that much more of a move upwards. And pretty straightforward here in terms of a pattern perspective, which is always good when a lot of people are watching the same patterns and wondering the same things. Call that a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want. It can produce some nice movements. So right here, pullback area, support area of the pattern, we'll call it 1335. And then in terms of resistance levels, get that general area in right there, and just to keep it one color. So we have our resistance, we have the support, we have the nice upwards move here, put the golf hole down here, have ourselves another bull pennant pattern. So a little bit more expensive of a stock. So I know the bull flag was on a penny stock and the other ones were sub $10. But here we have one, a little bit higher price if you like this range. But if you like the bull pennants, certainly keep an eye on it. Or just flat out, if you like just overall uptrending stocks, keep an eye on it. Next one, ticker symbol TSLA, Tesla. And good movement here. Good news from a technical standpoint. The good news revolves around that pink line, 200 paired moving average, and seemingly that the price is staying above it. You can see right here, broke above it, unfortunately, fell back below it, got back above it this afternoon, and I mean, check it out. Look how the price just bounced, maintained that area. However, it was always kind of a question of, is this history going to repeat itself where it just drops back through? But in fact, as I speak, the exact opposite is happening. Nice volume coming in, and you can see a good solid green candle there. So seemingly, it looks like officially that pink line, 200 period moving average, has been broken, which now brings all eyes to watch the next key area of resistance right up there at the 194.15 mark. So that'll definitely be a key breakout point next week that a lot of people will be watching. But all things considered, like AMC, good solid week. I mean, you just look here and you can see low, 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 low. You get the idea. The lows just keep getting higher and higher. And from a trend building perspective, that's what it's all about. So nice little formation here. It's working its way upwards. Got the break of the 200 period moving average. Is the break of 194.15 coming early next week? Seems very possible. Next one, TOP. And what I really like about this one is just the fact that, in my mind, such a well-defined trend line. So there's no special skill here. This is not a great discovery. I say all that just because I think a lot of other people will be watching that. And when a lot of other people are watching the same levels, wondering the same thing, self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can produce some very dynamic movements. So there are no guarantees, but is it reasonable to think that if the price curls back up, gets to that trend line and breaks up through it, that break in and of itself could create additional buying pressure? That is certainly a plausible scenario. So keep an eye on that. As far as the supports are concerned, basically a downwards kind of line right here. And maybe you know where I'm headed with all this. So yes, if you bought right here as a day trader, you're not looking at this chart in any way as bullish, but from an overall standpoint, resistance, support, big move up right there. We have ourselves another bull flag. Next one, TQQQ, which is an ETF that measures the NASDAQ market. So if you believe the NASDAQ market as a whole is going to go up, this one will also go up. And NASDAQ had a very good day today. Therefore, this one had a very good day. And you can see that just right off the get-go. Gapped up above that area of resistance that I'd been previously talking about. So that's the first key update. Levels of resistance you then want to see act as support. Go ahead and get rid of that level for now. And actually, because it was such a strong day, I'm just going to go ahead and adjust this area up to more of the best case scenario, which I would call it the 59.60. Best case again, meaning, well, ideally speaking, if the price could stay above 59.60, that would certainly make the chart look very, very strong. But from the big picture of things, and it seems suitable to end with this. Yeah, you bet it. Or yeah, you guessed it. There we go. Good thing it's Friday. You guessed it. It's all about 50 period moving average, purple line, and that thing will continue to move higher and higher. In fact, we have a classic example of it right here in the past. And I know I've pointed out this before, but check this out. I mean, beautiful example of how you want to see that 50 period moving average behave if it's approached by the price. So keep an eye on those couple of areas from the support standpoint in terms of levels of resistance. Literally nothing fancy other than just asking the question, where did the party finally stop today for the bulls? And the party stopped right up there at $60.60. So that'll be the main battleground moving into next week. But all in all, very, very impressive way to close out the week. So that wraps up the top 10 list. Again, if you like what you saw here and you want to learn more about the tool, then definitely get signed up for the free webinar next week. It'll be Thursday, February 15th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So I hope to see you there. As far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy these, please do two things for me. Hit the like button, leave a comment. Tell me what you traded today. Give me your watch list for next week, but those things help out the channel, help out these videos, and I thank you in advance for doing that. So again, go get signed up for that free webinar. Take care, have a good one, and enjoy your weekend.